G'day, my name is Jeff Gregg. I'm here to run this video, or producing this video, to show you how to learn how to use a smartphone. Any further ado, we'll show you, I have to show you my screen, which is what I'm going to do to be able to do all this. Okay. All right. That's a screen of a web page that I have developed for doing this course. To find that particular web page, you can go to that URL there, if you can read that, which is there. All right. I'll put that in text on the video. Okay. What we're going to cover today. What we're going to be doing is learn how to use a smartphone, and we're going to cover those 8 steps. So the first thing to do is identify which brand of phone you have. Okay, there are 2 basic brands of phones. There are either iPhones or non-iPhones, which are usually Android phones. There's a few others, but they're the 2 that we need to mainly worry about. Okay, to show you what they look like, right? iPhones look like that. They're made by Apple, and when you switch them on, you have little tiles that look like that. That's how you know you've got an iPhone, and it should have the word iPhone written on the back of it. An Android phone, on the other hand, looks more like that. And however, there are a whole different varieties and sizes and shapes of Android phones because they're made by different manufacturers. Most common one being Samsung, and there are other brands like Sony and HTC. Okay, the next thing to look at is determine which version of the phone, identify the model of the phone that you have. And to do that, you need to basically either look on the phone itself, all right, somewhere on the casing, or at the documentation you got with it, or on the back of the casing, or in some cases you might have to take the back cover off and look underneath the battery to see what model it is. And the reason you know what brand and model it is so you know which phone you want to learn about. The next thing is determine which version of the phone software you're using. Now that can be a little bit difficult, all right? In the case of an Android, I'll bring up my Android phone, which is up there. To find out what version of the software you're using, you have to swipe down from the top of the screen. If you don't know how to do this, you're going to have to find out another way. All right, so touch the top of the screen and I'm swiping down, and you'll notice something appears, but one of the things that appears is that cog there, which is the settings cog. I'm now touching that cog. All right. When I touch that cog, it comes up with the various settings. Probably will start like that, and you'll have to slide with your finger, slide it to the bottom of the screen, where it will have this about device. It may have that. Somewhere it'll have something like that. I'm now touching about device, and this is telling me I have my model number, which is another place of getting a GT 1900, which is a Samsung Galaxy S2, and the Android version, which is 4.1.2. Okay, that's how to do it on an Android phone. All right, to do the same thing on an iPhone, right? Well, I haven't got an iPhone to show you that, so I've got some text here from Apple, right, from their website, and it says for iPhones, iPads, and iPods, how to find the software version. According to them, from the home screen, you tap on settings, which is a thing that says settings or cog, something similar to what you looked before. Then you go to general, then you go to about. That will tell you what version of the software you're using. Okay, so now you've known which brand of phone, what model of phone, and version of the software. Now, the reason you need to know that is so that when you starting to learn, you know you're learning for your phone model and brand of software. Okay, the next thing is decide what you want to learn about on your phone. Now, you may have some ideas. If you have no ideas at all, from the page that this came from, right, which is my web page, I've got some things there which will make some points here which tell you about the content of this course, and some things you may want to interested, like the different types of phones. We've already talked about that difference between smartphones, where the camera on the phone is, etc., etc. If you scroll down this page and browse through it, you'll find a whole lot of information. And one of the things at the bottom is what you can do with your smartphone. For example, surf the web, communicate, messaging, emails, ebooks, remote control. So those are the things you can look at, and you can decide what you want to learn about on your phone. Okay, now once you've done that, you do a Google search to find the appropriate video of what you want to learn, and a Google search to find the appropriate video of what you want to learn. Okay, so let's actually do that now. Let's say we wanted to learn about the keyboard on a phone, how to use the keyboard on a smartphone. So I would put in how to use the keyboard on a Android. If I had an Apple, I'd put Apple. But Android phone, and I could put in the make and model if necessary, if I wanted that specific one. I'll just put that in, right? It's going to search and find it. Now, when it finds it, it'll find obviously text about this, right? How to connect the keyboard, etc., etc., etc. Right? Rather than looking at web pages, we actually want to look at videos. You can read web pages, but you have to try and interpret what they're talking about. A video is like a picture, and a picture is worth 1,000 words. A video, a moving picture, must be worth 1,000,000 words. So you can go into each one of these. So there's the ones you go. You click on that and go in and see the video on that particular item. Okay. So we've decided we've found the items we want to look for. The next thing to do, it says, is watch the video and pause, rewind, and start playing at the appropriate time. What do I mean by that? I've already got a video up here learning how to Android keyboard. And here's a video. So I'm going to play this video, all right? I'll click this button here to play it.
Today we're looking in depth at the default Android keyboard and exploring some of its advanced functions. Anytime you enter a text entry field, the keyboard will pop up.
Okay. So he said when you enter a text entry field, the keyboard will pop up. So I've paused it at that particular point in time, right? I can go back and click back here and play it again. I'll do that, for example.
We're looking in depth at the default Android keyboard and exploring some of its advanced functions. Anytime you enter a text entry field, the keyboard will pop up.
So it says every time you take a text entry field, the keyboard will pop up. So what does that mean? So what we're going to do is do this a bit now. We watch the video. I've paused it, rewind and start playing at the appropriate time. But what I'm going to do now is do what it shows you to do on the video on your phone. So here's my phone here, all right? So this is my Memo thing where I enter text, so I'll go into that, all right? Okay, that's the text entry field. I'm going to create a new document. And it says, whenever you enter a text entry field, the keyboard pops up. Well, there we are. There's a text entry field, and the keyboard has popped up, right? Okay, so now I'm going to go back and says, watch the video, pause, which I've done, rewind, which I did already, and start playing at the appropriate time. So I've already learnt that bit, so let's go on to the next bit. Okay, so what it says on the video. Okay, I'm on the wrong screen. My apologies. Okay, my apologies for the background noise.
On your phone if you want to hide it. Tapping anywhere in the text entry field will bring the keyboard back up.
He said then, if I press the back key on the phone, it'll hide the keyboard, and pressing any part of the thing will pop it up again. My apologies for the background noise. It's raining very heavily here. All right, so let's actually have a go at doing that ourselves. So it says by pressing the back button. Now the back button is this one down the bottom here. You can't see it, it's just down there. Okay, I'll touch that on my phone, on the back button, and you see exactly what he said did happen. It disappeared. And then he said, touching anywhere on where you enter the text, make it reappear. So if I touch that area there, so I'm touching, right, the keyboard reappears. So that's basically how the process goes. All you do is follow, stop it, pause it, follow it. Keep on repeating it until you understand it. Get it to do exactly what you want it to do. Okay. The last thing it says, repeat steps 5 through to 7 until you're comfortable with what you've learned. So step 5 goes back to search to find appropriate video. Sometimes I find when you start going to a video, it's not appropriate. It's not a particularly good video, and it doesn't explain what you want it to do. Waffles on, it doesn't do what you want it to do. So ignore that one, do another Google search and try again. Sometimes when you do the Google search, you need to put the word tutorial in your search. Okay, that's basically it. Okay, here's my phone. We'll go back to this, which is my page. All right. Okay, things that you can do. All right, going back to that. All right, I'll just return to myself if I can. Okay, stop that. It comes back to me, hopefully. And I'll just say goodbye with all the rain in the background. Bye.